Let's talk about incremental saving. This is a method of saving your files so that you don't mess them up. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my baby elephant here, and we're going to pretend that, well, here's what happens. Here's the scenario. I have students who, for some reason, will work on only one file, and then they'll put hours and hours into that file, and then for some reason something goes wrong. The file gets corrupted, or if you're at school, the power goes out and you lose everything on your desktop that you've been working on for a long time. So here's a way to back up your file in a way that is likely going to help you. Okay, here's how it is. So here's baby elephant number 1, or we might even call it 0 since this is a starting point. Okay, so what I do is this thing called incremental saving. Now, some programs actually have it built into it, so it actually kind of backs you up on a regular basis. I'm a little bit more old school. I will still do this manually. So here's how it goes. Let me turn on my mask. There you can see where I am. And so let's say that I've made my pink elephant and I've actually added things on. Let's say that I've worked for another 20 minutes. Okay, so what I will do is I will do a save as, and I'll still leave it as a Photoshop document, and I will call this baby elephant 01. I'm presuming that I'll probably make as many as 100 backups, who knows. But I'll call this baby elephant number 1. Okay, now I'll save, and now I've got, if you look over here, the title is now baby elephant 01. Okay, so here I am working on my file, tra-la-la-la-la, and I've put maybe another 20, maybe 30 minutes maximum. That's about how far I go. So let's say that I've got another half an hour. Okay, and I decide, you know what? Now's a good time to save. Save as, change the title to 02, and it's saved. And now it's saved as elephant 02. Okay, now, so let's say that I'm working on my elephant. Maybe I'll actually do something here. Let's say that I change the color of the elephant. Do something like this. Isn't he pretty? Okay, and let's say that I've worked another half an hour. Okay, but let's say actually before I get to the chance, or I get the chance to do this save, let's say that disaster strikes. Maybe I walked downstairs and the cat walked across my keyboard and that actually messed up my file. This has happened to friends of mine. Okay, well, let's say this file gets, I'll just, for the sake of demonstration purposes, let's say that this file does get all messed up. Let's say that somehow it got all messed up like this. Oh my God. Okay, the file is messed up. I can't retrieve it. I can't repair it. It's all jacked up. Here's what's cool. If I can't save this file, okay, well, I can go back to the last version of my file. So let's say I don't save the changes. What I can do now is I can go back to baby elephant 02 that was saved a half an hour ago, and I've only lost about a half an hour's worth of work. Now, your time increment can change depending on whatever makes you happy. I tend to go 15 minutes, anywhere, it depends on the project too. I go anywhere between 15 minutes and maybe 45 minutes, depending also if I remember what I'm doing. But basically the idea is to do these incremental saves, you can go back in time essentially and go back to where you were. Okay, it's not a crime to have multiple versions of your file just so that you can go back and work on an earlier version, especially if disaster happens to your files. Okay, or perhaps you may need to go back to an earlier version because maybe a client has requested changes that they liked in an earlier version. Okay, we'll talk more about that stuff as we go along, but incremental saving is a good thing. Go with it.